Hey friends, this is Jennifer Terri and welcome to another Philippine travel update. In today's video, we'll talk about Philippine travel requirements. So what are the requirements that you will have to present upon check-in at your airline and upon arrival in the Philippines? What will you present to the Bureau of Immigration? Okay, let's start with the question first. Who is allowed to enter the Philippines? So Filipinos, dual Filipino citizens, green card holders, let's say you're a Filipino, you have migrated in the US, you are a permanent resident there, you're still a Filipino, you are allowed to enter the Philippines. Who else are allowed to enter the Philippines? Balikbayans. Who are balikbayans? Former Filipinos. So Filipinos who have been naturalized citizens abroad, who have been foreign citizens foreign spouse of former Filipinos or Filipinos, foreign children who are traveling with their Filipino wife or husband or parent. So regardless of age, let's say you are a foreign child of a Filipino, 40 years old, it's okay as long as you travel with your Filipino parent, you can avail Balikbayan program. But you must be a citizen of a visa-free country. So normally, before pandemic time, these people just buy the ticket and they never worry about visa. Visa-free countries are these countries. Okay, US, Canada, Korea, Singapore, and Australia, New Zealand, Portugal, Germany, Ireland, yan. Turkey. Next allowed are foreigners with visas. If your visa is still valid existing, you can enter the Philippines. But all of those does not matter if you're coming from the 10 red countries. These countries are travel restricted countries in the Philippines. So if you're coming from these 10 countries, sorry, but you're not allowed to enter the Philippines. That's until July 31. But very high likely that they will extend that again until August 15. So watch out for the announcement from the Bureau of Immigration. For those coming from these countries, their only way to travel to the Philippines is through repatriation or through special commercial flight. Now let's go ahead with the travel requirements. If you're allowed to enter the Philippines, let's go prepare for your travel requirements. For Filipino citizens, very easy, just your Filipino passport po. It has to be valid. If it's near expiration, it's okay. But if it's already expired, or if it's damaged, or if you lost it, and you have an emergency travel to the Philippines, please secure a travel document. You can secure this po from the Philippine Embassy. This travel document is allowed only for applicants who cannot be issued a Philippine passport and have an emergency travel to the Philippines. Okay? So please coordinate with Philippine Embassy if wala kayong Filipino passport po. Moving forward, for dual Filipino citizens, Philippine passport if you have it, but if you don't have Philippine passport, that's okay. You can still travel to the Philippines and enter the country. Bring your foreign passport and your certificate of retention or reacquisition of your Filipino citizenship. If you don't have this certificate of retention, bring your IC or identification certificate. So either these two po. Next up is for balikbayans, for former Filipinos. So former Filipinos don't have Philippine passport anymore. They only have their foreign passport. So bring your foreign passport plus your old or expired Philippine passport. Basta Philippine passport, guys, kahit very luma na yan. That is a proof that you are a former Filipino. If you don't have your old Filipino passport, bring your birth certificate. It's much better if you have a PSA birth certificate, guys. You can order this online. Next up is for foreign spouse or children of Filipinos or former Filipinos traveling together with their Filipino parent or Filipino wife or husband. You will be able to avail the Balikbayan program if you're from a visa-free country. The only thing that you need is your marriage certificate if you're the spouse, and if you're the child, your birth certificate. Now for these certificates, marriage or birth, it is recommended that you secure a PSA version or an apostilled marriage certificate or an apostilled birth certificate. If you don't have that, another option is for spouses, a report of marriage receipt plus your foreign marriage certificate. For children, report of birth receipt and your foreign birth certificate. Only marriages under the provisions of the Philippines family codes shall be honored. What does this mean? For example, same-sex marriage is not yet acknowledged in the Philippines, so you cannot avail Balikbayan program po if you're same-sex marriage. For foreign spouse and children or parents of Filipinos not traveling together, there has been good news, no? Goodbye EED. The entry exemption is no longer needed starting August 1. But for those traveling before August 1, you still need a DFA exemption plus your 9A visa. And also, it's much better if you can bring the marriage certificate or birth certificate and other, like the LG requirement, proving that your wife is in the Philippines, bring that also. That is the rule before August 1. But since the good news, you don't need EED after August 1. So what you only need for foreign spouse, children, or parents of Filipinos not traveling with their Filipino family, 9A visa. Now for 9A visas that will be issued starting August 1 and beyond, it will mention their EED not required per IATF Resolution 128. Okay? But for those holding an existing 9A visa, 9A visas that was issued before this EED was even required, a lot of foreigners have already inquired with different embassies all over the world. And Philippine Embassy in London was very helpful, and they told one foreign spouse this. Please visit our website this weekend for the posting of the new advisory and list of requirements before you submit your visa application. So for new 9A visa issuance, let's just wait for the guidelines from the embassies. These embassies are waiting for the memo from the DFA. So let's just wait. Let's start our application August 1. Now for those who are holding existing 9A visas, Philippine Embassy in London said, please also be advised that you need to secure a new visa that will bear the required notation or remarks affixed on the visa sticker for you to be allowed entry into the country. So there you go. Let's just wait till August 1 when they have the guidelines and they will start implementing it. We waited for many months. I'm sure 6 days or 5 days is not a big deal. Okay? It's better to wait for the detailed guidelines. But EED no longer required. We're happy with that. Moving forward, for foreign nationals with valid and existing visa, just your valid and existing visa. And for parents of pregnant Filipinos, you may be able to apply for a visa to enter the Philippines. Please contact the Philippine Embassy August 1 and beyond. Now, after identifying your requirements, now for 9G, they don't need DFA exemption. SRRVs don't need DFA exemption. 47A2 don't need DFA exemption. Only 9A visa holders who are not immediate families of Filipinos need DFA exemption. Now, after you have prepared all your travel documents, you'll have to identify what type of traveler are you. Are you an OFW or a non-OFW? All balikbayans, all foreign nationals, you are a non-OFW. For Filipinos po, it's very easy to identify, no? If you are on working visa, OFW. If you're a member of OWA, OFW. If you are undocumented with proof that you worked abroad, you lost your job, you are an OFW. If you are a dependent of an OFW, asawa, anak ng isang OFW, magiging OFW din po ang treatment mo. The only difference, OFWs get free everything. They don't have to spend a dime on the hotel, quarantine, final transportation. But for non-OFWs, everything is at your own expense, so please bring money. For solo travelers, prepare at least 25,000 pesos. For families, prepare at least 30 to 40,000 pesos. Moving forward, for those asking, how about the free hotel, Jennifer, that the president once mentioned? There is no update to that. There is no official statement whether that will indeed happen. But as I said many times before, do not expect that will happen, no? Now, if you're a non-OFW, you need to pre-book your hotel. It is a must. Your airline will not let you board the plane without it. Immigration, if you're a balikbayan or foreigner, you don't have pre-book quarantine hotel, deny. You need to have advanced booking with the quarantine hotel. But the question, for how many nights? So to identify how many nights do you need to book, are you vaccinated? If the answer is no, then you need to book 9 nights in a pre-book in an accredited quarantine hotel. Now, if you answered yes, if you're fully vaccinated, next question, which country are you coming from? Saang bansa ka po galing? Okay? If it's a green country, look at this list, find your country. If you're from US, if you're from UK, if you're from UAE, if you're from Canada, you won't find your country there. If you're from Germany, Ireland, it's not there. Okay? You need your non-green country. But for Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Hong Kong, Brunei, these are green countries. You can avail a shorter quarantine. So for non-green lanes, guys, you need to book 9 nights. Okay? Do you need to secure a vaccination certificate? No need. Just bring whatever document you already have that was issued by your foreign country, because you may be able to use it for incentives and perks in the Philippines. I was vaccinated. I wasn't able to avail green lanes, but somehow I've been able to use my vaccination certificate here. It was issued abroad. For example, food discounts, gas or petrol discounts the other day. Sea Oil, shout out to Sea Oil gas station. They offer 3 pesos discount per liter for those who can show vaccination certificate. Even those that was issued abroad, they will accept. So, yun naman. It may be also easier for you to travel within the Philippines, as some LGUs will accept vaccination cards instead of an RT-PCR negative COVID test result. So that is the perks. But for those qualified for green lanes for OFWs and their dependents, secure Polo Vaccine Pass, visit balikpinas.ph. For those vaccinated in the Philippines, you have 3 options based on the recent IATF resolution. That's vaccine card, or LGU certificate, or Bureau of Quarantine yellow card. You can avail that in this website, boq.pisupay.com.ph. But the locations po, you have to attend it physically. And the locations are limited. In Visayas, there's only Cebu. In Mindanao, there's only Davao. In NCR, there's Mall of Asia. And then for those vaccinated abroad from green countries, a certificate issued by the health authorities of the place of your vaccination. But I would recommend, guys, to better secure a yellow WHO card, vaccination card, this one. Because this one is 100% acceptable in the Philippines. You can get this from the vaccination clinics. This has been used a long time ago, even before COVID. So your clinic will know what we're talking about here. Yellow vaccination card. So that is all for this video, guys. For travel requirements, secure it para yung travel nyo ay smooth. And then, for those balikbayans na walang old Philippine passport or birth certificate, mag-order online ng PSA birth certificate po. Yes, pwede po. Yung family nyo sa Pinas, pwede nyo dun ipa-deliver tapos ipa-express mail nyo na lang papunta sa abroad. So that is all the requirements, guys. Don't stress too much. As long as you have the complete requirements, your travel is fine naman. As long as you know the rules, you're fine. So thank you so much for watching this video. If there are any changes, I will update you. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, and I will see you again with another travel update. Stay safe and God bless. Bye!